Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome on this brand new Monday, start of the week. It is September 25th. I'm glad y'all could join me today because I got a little something to share, and it's got nothing to do with left or right politics. No, in fact, it's all about finding your own political Switzerland or Sweden in your personal life. Yeah. You know, a little political neutrality never hurt anyone, and it might be the smartest thing you do in this day and age. I mean, you see all this culture war BS, right? It's like watching a game of dodgeball where everyone's throwing flaming hot takes instead of rubber balls. The left is squaring off with the right, and everyone on Facebook are throwing punches like Tyson at his prime. But here's the thought. Maybe you should take a cue from Sweden or Switzerland and declare ourselves neutral parties in this ongoing political melee. Imagine, folks, you could be the Switzerland of your Thanksgiving dinner, navigating the treacherous waters of family political debates with nothing more than a shrug and a pass the gravy. You see, neutrality doesn't mean you don't have opinions. It just means you're not charging into every debate like a bull in a china shop. Let's face it. Nobody ever changed their mind by being yelled at on social media. It's like trying to put out a forest fire with a squirt gun. Doesn't work. So next time someone tries to drag you into a political brawl, remember, you're Switzerland. You're Switzerland, baby, yeah! You're Switzerland, sipping a hot cocoa, staying warm and cozy while the world rages on. And who knows, maybe by not publicly taking sides, you'll actually be doing more for civil discourse than anybody else out there. And in the end, it's okay to be passionate about your beliefs, but it's also okay to keep a little bit of that Switzerland or Sweden in your personal life, because let's be honest, the world could use a lot less shouting and a lot more cocoa. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. That's right. Do not forget to like the stream. I do appreciate the reminders on that. So do me a favor, hit the like button. Doesn't cost you a thing. Lets me know you're not a bot, right? Anyway, you know, I was thinking about this over the weekend about how you get dragged in all this political crap all the time. And I really admire people that just stay out of it, you know? And I specifically titled this Just Be Switzerland because now Sweden has gone and joined NATO. They destroyed it. They destroyed their neutrality. What the hell, Sweden? That's the thing, is it's like when I was growing up, I was like, how the hell did Sweden and Switzerland become so prosperous? And it's like, oh yeah, they didn't participate in either of the two world wars. They let everybody else fight it out, and they just stayed neutral and got rich. Right? Now, obviously not everybody can do this, but they did it, and they're two of the nicest places in the world to live. Believe me, I've been to both those places. Really, really fantastic standard of living. I know Sweden's had a little changes because of some of their policies lately. They've changed up some of the demographics, but overall, unbelievably great places to live. And it never would have got that good if it weren't for them being neutral. And so there's something that we can learn from this, right? We can be neutral. Doesn't mean you don't have to have an opinion. But when someone tries to drag you into something, you know, someone's saying, oh, you know, this Trump, or oh, this Biden, isn't he? Yeah. You can just say, I'm Switzerland. They're like, what do you mean you're Switzerland? Just say, oh, I'm neutral. And they're like, oh, you don't have an opinion? It's like, no. I'm not interested in talking about this subject. Now, see, here's the key. If you tell someone, I'm not interested in this topic, or I'm not interested in... Be clear. say, I'm not interested in talking about this topic. Doesn't mean you're not interested in about the topic. It just means you're not interested in talking about the topic. And if you say that and they continue to go on, then you can say, wow, you're not even respecting my request. That's real persuasive of you. That's going to get me to change my mind, right? And it's kind of fun. It's a bit of a troll because it'll drive people nuts, right? They can say something, and if you don't agree with it, and if you just say, nah, not interested in that, it's going to drive them nuts. It'll be fun. I encourage you to try it out. You don't have to always do it. But believe me, I've been doing this more and more. Basically, I have to bite my tongue. I live in Portland, right? This is, I don't know, San Francisco North. This is the epicenter of woke everything. I just got to bite my tongue. I'm not going to go along with it. But I'm not going to fight it. I don't want to fight people all the time. Damn, I don't want to do that. So just think of Switzerland. Think of that hot cocoa. Think of the Alps and you're in the Swiss chalet, sipping on cocoa, enjoying life. And I believe you'll be enjoying life more if you don't get into these political debates with people and you just say you're neutral. Keep it to yourself. A polling company calls you. They want to know what's going on. No. I'm Switzerland. You can surprise them on election day. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm not saying don't have opinions. I'm just saying there's no point in arguing about a lot of this stuff. Arguing, for the most part, doesn't really do any good. So that's something to think about. May not agree. That's cool. I understand. Am I going to be Switzerland on this channel? Well, I don't say everything I believe. I keep many opinions to myself, especially more controversial opinions, right? Because it's just not worth it. But yeah, I'll still have opinions. I still give my opinion on this show. That's what it's about, right? Trying to be nuanced. But there's a time and a place. Just remember, just be Switzerland. And see how it goes. Try it out. See if it works for you. And let me know if you had any success with that. Anyway, we got a great show today. I got a number of stories to get to today that I think you're going to find interesting. Stick around the after show. I'll be going through all of your comments on YouTube and Rumble because we got a lot to get to today. But first up, some interesting story on the Wall Street Journal about some debunkers. Yeah, that's my kind of people. And someday I'll figure out how. I put it on autofocus and then I run around and I get here and all of a sudden it's dark. I'll figure that out someday. Someday I'll figure it out. But not today. Folks, these data detectives are like the Sherlock Holmes of academia. They're the ones who actually make you think twice about trusting a professor's research paper. It's like, did you hear about the Harvard professor who got busted for fraud? And you're like, which one? It's a pretty long list now. So a Harvard Business School professor, Francesca Gino's research on why people lie and cheat is totally discredited by data detectives Joe Simmons, Leif Nelson, and Uri Simonson. Simon Sean. I got the Swedish pronunciation there. Uri Simonson. These scientists are part of a growing trend of uncovering fraudulent research in scholarly journals, with over 5,500 flawed papers retracted in 2022. Fraudulent research can have far-reaching consequences beyond academia, affecting corporate decisions, government policies, and patient safety. eroding public trust in science. Yeah. Data detectives use various methods to spot fraud, promoting scientific integrity. Despite risks like lawsuits, their work remains essential for maintaining research credibility. So this was actually a great story in the Wall Street Journal. As always, I leave a link to every story that I talk about in either the description or in the comments. I will leave a link to an archived version of the article. This is a really good one. These guys have been going through academic papers and just seeing if they're bullshit or not. Turns out a lot are. Now, the difference is these guys are academics and they've got some credentials, and so they actually have some power to get that out there. I've been debunking stuff for over 5 years on this channel. There hasn't been a single story in the press about anything that I've debunked. And I've debunked some pretty decent things. Looking back throughout the hundreds of videos on my channel, I have, as far as I know, there have been several things that I have called out that I have not found when I was doing research on it, anybody else calling it out. But I just have a small channel, and it doesn't get the kind of recognition that these guys get from the Wall Street Journal, but I gotta hand it to them. I think this is fun, busting bad science, and I am going to take note of these guys, because maybe when I bust something, I can send it to them, and perhaps they can get the word out. That's the thing is, you know, if you speak in a rainforest next to a waterfall and nobody's there to promote your video, did you really debunk anything? Yeah. So anyway, but I think this is a great story, and this is actually one of the ones that I would encourage you, when this video is over, go ahead and read the article. It's a really well-written article, and they go into the details about how they go through and kind of destroy these academic papers and point out how fraudulent they are. So it was a really good read. So I encourage you on that one. But next up, we got to talk about Rumble, because Rumble is in the news. You hear about all these corporations punishing platforms that support free speech. It's like they're saying, hey, we believe in free speech as long as you don't actually use it. It's a classic case of woke capitalism. They're canceling Russell Brand faster than a fast food drive-through order during a lunch rush. That was a poorly worded joke there. Didn't work. Anyway, who knew defending free speech would be so bad for business? Yeah, several major companies, including Burger King, have pulled ads from the video platform Rumble, where Russell Brand broadcasts his show, due to allegations of sexual assault against Brand. YouTube suspended Brand's ad earnings, but Rumble hasn't. Brand claims this is tied to an online safety bill. Rumble criticized a parliamentary committee for raising concerns about Brand's profits on the platform, emphasizing its commitment to free speech. Oh dear, free speech. Brand denies the allegations and has lost several business partnerships. Rumble was founded in 2013, aims to be immune to cancel culture, and is backed by some prominent conservatives. So that is why it is important to support Rumble and to support me on Rumble. You know, we got a couple people watching right now live on Rumble. What's up to all the people on Rumble? What's up, Rev68, Apothecary John? Yeah, we got people over there watching live on Rumble, and I do appreciate you for that. So what happened was, you know, Russell Brand accused of some stuff. I went through and I watched the documentary last week when it came out, the BBC documentary. I gotta say, I don't know what happened, and I think that should be the opinion of everyone that that wasn't there, right? I don't know what happened. If there were a crime, I don't know. Maybe report it to the police and let them do an investigation. We're innocent until proven guilty. But not online, apparently. No. Burger King is like, nope, we can't be associated with someone that's been accused of something. There were credible accusations about our current president that are, in my opinion, the same, if not worse, than what Russell Brand is accused of. Yeah, credible accusations. But doesn't seem to be that's, Burger King doesn't care about that, right? Apparently Burger King doesn't care. Well, for me, honestly, the Bud Light treatment is the right thing to do. F Burger King. I'm done with them. Now, it's easy for me to say because I can't remember the last time I went to Burger King. I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, when have I been to Burger King? I'm thinking, I don't know that I've been there in at least 10 years. At least. So if I say I'm never going to go to Burger King again, well, that doesn't mean they're really losing out on a whole lot, does it? No, it doesn't. But using your money to support the companies that you want to support and punishing the companies that pull this kind of BS, we're all innocent until proven guilty. And Burger King didn't say, oh, we don't want our ads run on Russell Brand's show. No. Burger King said, we don't want our ads run on that network at all. Nice. So, yeah, I'm done with Burger King. And I'm real stubborn. I've boycotted some things, and I just write them out of my life. It's funny. I have never bought any Nike product that was new. I have bought some used things, some collectible things or whatever. I got some fancy like Olympic versions of Air Force Ones or something. But I haven't bought any new Nike products because I think when I was a kid of like 13 or something, I was in 9th grade or whatever, and I heard they were using child labor, and I'm like, okay, fine. I won't ever buy Nike. And I haven't. Right? 40 years I haven't bought a single Nike thing. I'm stubborn like that. So congratulations, Burger King. I'm done with you. Never again. And it's really easy because I just write them out of my life. I drive by a Burger King. It doesn't even register to me anymore. Just doesn't even register to me. So there we go. That's all I got there. Rumble gang. I appreciate everybody over there on Rumble, but that's what's happening. They're going after Rumble because Rumble is not playing ball with all of this canceling. So, yeah. Anyway, next up, we got some other nonsense going on over there in the UK. I can't tell you the title of the article that I'm talking about because in the US it contains a word that would be a hate crime. But when the video is over, you can click on the article and see it for yourself. Folks, Rishi Sunak wants to phase out smoking for adults over 18. He's got this brilliant plan to increase the smoking age by 1 year each year until it's illegal. So by the time you're finally allowed to smoke legally, you'll be so old that you won't need cigarettes, right? You'll need an oxygen tank. That's his brilliant idea. UK Chancellor. What the hell's a chancellor anyway? Rishi Sunak is considering a plan to gradually phase out smoking for individuals over 18. The proposal involves increasing the legal smoking age by 1 year each year until it becomes illegal for anyone to purchase cigarettes. Although the idea was previously rejected by ministers, it's now being reconsidered. Critics argue that such a move will lead to a growth of black market for cigarettes, and they believe it's unnecessary to prioritize anti-smoking measures when more significant challenges are facing the country. Yeah, there's a lot more important things than cigarettes. Cigarette smoking has just gone down and down and down and down my entire life. You don't see that many people smoking nowadays. And when you do, you just point and laugh, I guess, right? But it just goes down every year. I don't think outlawing it is going to have that much of an effect. And we should be free to do whatever we want to. It is, I find it hilarious that here in Portland, right, everything is freaking legal. Now, I guess you can't use fentanyl in public anymore. You can't shoot up on the public streets. They finally decided that wasn't a good idea. But sure, use heroin. That's okay, but don't have a cigarette. I think we need we need a little consistency there. But again, I don't smoke cigarettes. I'm not in England. I'm not in the UK. Doesn't really affect me. I don't know. I do think we got a lot bigger problems than that. But that's just my take on it. But next up, I want to explain a joke to all the dummies out there. So, I saw this story about David Brooks of the New York Times complaining about the cost of an airport meal. $78 for a burger, fries, and whiskey. Now, I have to say that's not just a meal, that's a down payment on a small car. But here's the kicker, folks. They named a meal after him at the restaurant now. It's called the D. Brooks Special. You get a burger, a fries, and a double shot of whiskey for $17.78. Now, that's what I call an economic stimulus plan. So here's the story. David Brooks, New York Times columnist, posted a tweet last week complaining about the high price of his meal at Newark Liberty International Airport. He shared a photo of burger, fries, and a whiskey, revealing a $78 bill, and suggested it reflected poorly on the U.S. economy. The tweet went viral, garnering over 34 million views and inspiring memes. The restaurant, 1911 Smokehouse Barbecue, defended itself, stating that the bar tab was most of the bill. Brooke later expressed regret, like a bitch, acknowledging his insensitivity and recognizing the stark difference between his experience and those struggling financially. So, anyway, this is so dumb because so he puts up this tweet, and here it is right here. You can see it. And what's he saying? You know, he's saying, oh my God, Bidenomics, right? Like, look at what $78 I spent on my my meal at the airport. Oh my God, Biden's economy sucks. The picture, if you can see here, right here, what is center in the picture just above the burger and fries? It's his big double whiskey. It's clearly his big double whiskey, and I immediately took this as a joke, right? This is a joke. And in a way, it's a bit of a flex, right? I'm so rich, I can get like 2 double whiskeys at the airport, and here, let me post a picture and whine about it. It's funny. Anybody that looking at that can see the big, I mean, the whiskey, I don't know if it's whiskey or bourbon, whatever it is. It's a tall pour, so it's at least a double, right? You know that that's most of the bill. Okay? This is clearly a joke. I'm not sure why he went and apologized for this. He should have just, what I would have done is said, it's never funny to explain a joke. This was a joke. Get over it. That would have been, in my opinion, the correct response. A lot of people, obviously, they look at it and they're like, clearly he's making a joke here. Right? He's not saying that the burger and fries are $78. If he were trying to be disingenuous about that, he wouldn't have included the big whiskey center on the picture. It's right there. Its center on the picture is his big double whiskey. Clearly, that's where the majority of the bill is. But it did start a whole bunch of memes, and I love all the memes. It was like $78, you know, and people are posting something expensive with something little, like, you know, posting a bottle of champagne with some Advil and say, I can't believe the price of Advil. I spent $70 for this Advil and bottle of champagne. Silly. Anyway, this is like a who cares story. I get it. But it's like, is anyone actually upset about this? Does anyone actually not think that he was making a joke about this? It turns out the burger and fries were like $17 at the airport. That seems pretty fair. I would actually expect it to be more than that. You know, airport food, obviously more expensive. You know, a nice restaurant at the airport, I would expect the burger and fries would be more than $17. I would think it, you know, something like that could be over $20, but $17, I don't know. That sounds like a deal to me at the airport in 2023. Clearly there's a joke. I don't know. I don't understand some people some days. Anyway, we got to have some good news. So let's get to the good news of the day. Jamie, 16-year-old, saved a man's life by showing concern and asking him if he was okay when he saw a man sitting on the edge of a bridge. Despite the man's initial reluctance, Jamie convinced him to come down and talk. They had a 45-minute conversation during which the man shared his troubles. Yeah. Eventually, the man agreed to go to the hospital and they exchanged phone numbers. Months later, the man informed Jamie that he and his wife were expecting a baby boy and planned to name him after Jamie because of the simple words had saved his life. This heartwarming story highlights the power of a caring gesture and a simple question. Are you okay? Can make a significant impact in someone's life. And that's the thing. We never know when we're going to make an impact on someone's life. Most of the time, they don't come back and tell us. But in this case, he did. He contacted Jamie months later and said, hey, man, thanks. I really appreciate you on that day. And we're naming our son after you. So good on you. And, you know, this kind of like, I don't know, schmaltzy stuff. This gets me, man. I feel it. I love these stories. I love these feel-good stories. For me, I know they're kind of corny, but for me, it gets me right here. And I like them. And it's true. I've thought about when you make an impact on someone's life. And I know, I'll just give you a quick story. There was a guy in Fort Worth, and I went up and talked to him. He was working at a Golden Corral, and he was working really hard. And I was like, bro, and this is 90s, right? And I said, what are you doing? Why are you working so hard? You realize you're in a Golden Corral, right? And he's like, oh no, I just, this is what I do. And I said, well, what do you really, 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 really want to do, man? What do you really want to do? And he's like, well, I've always liked playing guitar, and, you know, I kind of write songs and stuff. And I'm like, man, why don't you do that? And I gave him my card. I gave him my business card, and I said, hey, if you ever go to an open mic or something like that, let me know, and I'll come support you, man. Because I see how much passion you have, and I would love it if you would put that passion into something awesome, rather than running around like an idiot at Golden Corral, right? Who cares, right? And he did. And he started playing gigs out in Fort Worth and in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. And he started doing that. And anyway, he had my card. And then years late, you know, I moved up to Oregon. I got a Christmas card from him. He looked me up, and he sent me a Christmas card. And he wrote to me, and he said, hey, Tom, I really appreciate you talking to me on that day. You changed my life, bro. I really appreciate that. You know, love you, man. Russ. Right? And it was like, whoa. He reached out and told me how something that I did, which wasn't much, changed his life. And that's always meant something big to me. And so what I wanted to do today is, with this story, if there was someone in your life that may have done something that had a big impact on you, tell them. Even if it's been years, tell them that they made an impact on your life. Because I tell you what, man, every time I think of that story, man, I just, like, it just gets me right here. That me just talking to some kid working at Golden Corral, and I got him to follow his dreams. That means a lot to me. And it's not nearly as serious as this Jamie kid, the 16-year-old, you know, saving this guy who was thinking about jumping off a bridge. But that's the thing, is we often don't tell people that had an impact on our life. And if there's someone that had an impact on your life, that's my challenge to you this week. Look them up. Let them know. Write them a card. Send them an email. Send them a post on Instagram, whatever. You know, some teacher way back in the day, if they made an impact on your life, let them know. Because if you do that, it really means something. So that's my encouragement for you today, to do that. To do that. And my dog is up and shaking, making noise. Hush. Shh. Hush, girl. Anyway, that's the show that I have for you today. That's all I've got prepared. Stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all of your comments. I'll be back on Wednesday with a big idea. And I really think it's going to be a good one. So I hope to see you then. Anyway, until then, peace. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got to remember to get clear. There we go. All right. Boom. Something else I haven't followed through on. But I will. I swear. Oh, jeez. Anyway, what's up, Apothecary John? Cool kids never forget to like the stream. That's right. Thank you for the reminder. Everybody, smash that like button. Does mean something to me. And, hey, on Friday, I asked you on Friday's video to go check out this stupid book review that I did on Amazon. One person did and said it was helpful, so whoever that was, I appreciate you. But if you haven't, I did a dumb book review on Amazon. The link is on Friday's video. And if anyone else wants to go and, watch the video, watch the whole video. It actually tells me, oh, they watched it for 30 seconds. Watch the whole thing. It's only a minute and 12 seconds, I think. And then say, oh, that was a helpful video. Anyway, I appreciate that. Hashtag Rumble Gang Gang. I like that. We ought to get that going. I should make that the title of one of my videos coming up. Absolutely. What's up, Rev68? Nice to see you. Tom casually dropping like a bitch was exactly what I effing needed today. Yeah, that's it. Doggy cameo win. Yeah, I should do it. I got to figure out how I can do that. Get a little webcam or something. Have a live cam of my dog. She's always taking a nap during the show on her pillow. So I'm sure I could set up a webcam on her. So good idea. Good idea there. Over on the YouTube, we got everybody checking in. Everyone having a good time. Best background ever. I'm working on my backgrounds. So yeah, I'm liking this background. So we're gonna keep working on the backgrounds, you know, and maybe I'll even figure out how to get the cameras to look the same. I have the same cameras, but they're on auto, and one of them, this one, you know, it's dark. So I gotta figure out what I gotta do there. I don't know. There's so much to learn. But I'll get there. More cocoa. Yeah, exactly. That's when you add, and I'm also not interested in listening to someone talk about this subject. Yeah, that's the point. It's a real good way to end a topic. Okay? If you say, oh, I don't know. If someone's talking about something political and you don't want to talk about it, if you say, oh, I don't know about that, then they might decide to tell you about that. That doesn't work. What you want to say is, I'm not interested in talking about that subject. And if they continue on that subject, boy, they're just showing you that, like, I don't know, they have no control. They have no self-control. Like, they have to talk about it, right? No, but I got to talk about how bad Biden is, or I got to talk about Trump. You know? You really make them out to be a fool if you just say, I'm not interested in talking about that subject. And if you just get that phrase down, get comfortable saying that phrase, I'm not interested in talking about that subject. Say that a couple times. Let it become natural, and then you can avoid all that negativity. So let me know how that goes. Fraudulent data? Say it isn't so. Yeah, how about that? I haven't seen a single YouTube ad for over 5 years using the Brave browser. Well, you are using a great browser. Brave browser, I really like as well. I should actually do a video about the Brave browser because that company has some different corporate goals that are different than most media companies. And so, and I think with Brave, and I think there's a way to set it up that you might actually be able to get a little crypto or a little something if you actually watch some ads. But you know what? I'll look into that, and I will do a video about that because that's a good thing to know. We should go to Burger King, place an order, and leave just to waste their time and product. I don't know. I don't know about, I don't know. You can do whatever you want to. That's not really my thing. I don't like putting, that just seems to be putting out negative energy. The best thing is just to act like they don't even exist. What happened to innocent until proven guilty, though? You haven't bought a Nike product because you heard this, just like people heard about Russell Brand, but it's okay for you to boycott Nike? Well, Chelsea Norton, yes, you made a point there, and actually what you said is totally logical. This was something that I decided when I was 12 or 13 years old. There was no internet when I was 12 or 13 years old, and I had heard something, and I decided to make my own little boycott. And I'm stubborn. I just kind of stuck with it. Was it fair? Maybe, maybe not, but that's true. But I do appreciate you calling me on that because, yeah, if you just boycott something because you heard something, like that's nonsense. And I totally agree with you. The Nike thing was something that I just decided as a kid. And then growing up, Adidas became more of my brand, and I just became like an Adidas guy. And because of that, I've always just bought Adidas because of that. Not necessarily because of the little band I had when I was a kid, but just because I just kind of made Adidas my brand. That's all. But yes, thank you for calling me on that, Chelsea. That is logical, and that makes sense, and I appreciate that. Ooh, the F word, I bet. Slang for cigs over there in UK, LOL. Yes, that is the title of the article. The title of the article is, I'm not going to say that word, but I will... the title of the article, let me pull it up here, is called F End. Smoking would be banned and cigarettes phased out in plans being considered by Rishi Sunak. So yeah, the first word is the other F word in this UK paper that did this story. But you're thinking there. I started the ball rolling against indoor smoking back in the late 80s with the letter to the editor in the Fort Polk's Guardian newspaper, Girl Power. Well, way to go, Natasha. That's great. What kind of whiskey was that? I don't know. I've been following that dumb story. They didn't actually say what his bar order was, and they shouldn't, right? That's really nobody's business. Obviously, if like 60 of the $78 were alcohol, and maybe $78 included the tip, I'm not sure. But let's say it was without the tip. So if 60 of the 78 was booze, obviously that's not one drink, right? And I was thinking, what would it be, like three whiskeys or maybe two doubles? I don't know. But it would be wrong for the restaurant to tell you exactly what he ordered at the bar, and he didn't divulge that. So I don't know how many whiskeys it was, but I'd be interested to know, what kind of whiskey was this? Frankly, clearly this was a joke to me, and I think anyone getting bent out of shape, actually getting bent out of shape, is, I don't know, maybe too dumb to be on social media. But if you're just doing it for a laugh, I understand that too. What a story for the baby boy when he gets asked in the future, were you named after anyone? We'll have quite a story to tell. I think that's actually cool. You know, it's interesting, you know, like, who were you named after, right? Well, my name is Thomas, right? It's kind of an unoriginal name in my family, because I think I'm the 7th Thomas since they came over from the UK. So not that original. I'm named after all the other Thomases in our family. But that's actually kind of a cool story. Who were you named after? It's like, well, I was really down, and this kid Jamie showed unbelievable compassion and patience with me, and I wanted you to hopefully be like he was and be compassionate and patient. I think that's a really sweet story. Sweet story about the guitar player, Tom. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I was thinking about that story recently, and that's the thing, is you just don't know when you make a difference to someone. And I was really happy that this dude like reached out to me later and told me that I made a difference to him. And so often we don't do that. And so, yeah, if you can think of someone that made a difference in your life, I was actually wrestling with that this weekend. I was thinking about a buddy I had that really did make a positive impact on me, but at the time we were business partners and some stuff. I might not have acted that way at all, you know? And I would like to let him know, you know, despite all the stuff I said about him, that he really made a positive impact in my life. And I'm going to try to do that this week. I'm going to try to reach out to him and just let him know. Just let him know that he meant more to me than I may have let on, you know? And so that's what I encourage you to do as well. Which book did you review? I reviewed this Scott Adams book, Reframe Your Brain. It's a new book about essentially how to talk to yourself and to think a different way. Scott Adams is the Dilbert guy, but this book is just about how to reframe things. Meaning what you can tell yourself to think of things in a different way. So if you go on Friday's video, I left a link to that book, and you got to find my review. It's hard to find my review. You got to scroll and maybe you can search by video. It's the only video review, but it's still hard to find. But if you search for it and watch the video and say, hey, that was helpful, or, you know, whatever, maybe I'll get something out of that. Exposure compensation set to -2 EV, maybe, or exposure measuring point is different. Just go full manual. Thank you for that. Yes, I know I need to turn it off of autofocus. I know that that's the issue. I know that I can set it. It's just... I just need to learn how to do that. And you would think after years of doing this dumb show, you'd think I'd eventually learn it. But I haven't learned it yet, but that's on the goal for the week. If I can learn the settings on this camera. This one looks good, but this camera somehow not as bright. But I'll try to fix that. So thank you for the encouragement there. I was named after a character in War and Peace. Oh, how about that, Natasha? War and Peace. Good luck trying to read that. That is so long. No, it's a great book, but it's a bit long. Bit of a drudge, if you will. Oh, okay, thanks. So there you go. You can filter the review, according to Apothecary John, you can filter the reviews by image and video reviews only. Yeah, so if you go there, filter the reviews, you can find my review, watch the whole thing, because I can actually see the amount of time that you watched it. They tell me, oh, someone clicked on it and watched it for 4 seconds. But if you watch the whole thing and say that it's helpful, and actually I encourage you to get the book. It's a great book. But only do so after watching the video. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Natasha says, reframing things is a good creative endeavor, and I agree. Anyway, I will be back on Wednesday with a big idea. Hope y'all are doing awesome. I'll see you then. Peace.